There's a major war going on. We've been in like this pandemic recession, vibe. Very interesting vibe for the past going on 6 years. So, yeah, I mean, this channel is for the artist that's just dealing with that in a real way. Like, I don't have no specific tailored advice for you that's going to help you. I have stories. Yeah, if you got an attention span, this content is for you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What do we have here in front of us? We got the hiccups, some chia seed water, and some tea, which I feel like some people have been questioning, whether this warm water thing, whether people are talking about tea or just like actual warm water. I don't know, but my warm water has some golden seal in it. That's what these little sticks are that I'm about to take out, because it's about to continue to get very bitter. Got some green tea, some jasmine, green tea pearls, and a clove. A couple of whole cloves. It's good for the morning. It's like mouthwash you can drink. And then, what else? Some lemon, some honey. Because I'm trying not to get a cold. But I think it's got me already. So I think it'll be good for my throat so I can talk. None of these things are remedies for the hiccups. I just happened to have gotten the hiccups as soon as I decided I wanted to start talking. Gallery wall, which includes some finished works, some hiccups, some things I'm reworking, some little small pieces that may get collaged. Excuse me. That may get collaged into some new stuff. Yeah. I wish the weather would just do one thing. Geese be up late. We're hearing the geese at like 2 a.m. The current research has been centered in just understanding artist-led ecosystems. I have some in my teeth, that's why I said it like that. Artist-led ecosystems. Yeah, I've been doing participant observation. What originally I was thinking of is like this alternative, I guess, black culture. And along the way, I really found some stories that I felt like were worth deeper investigation, primarily centered in, artist-led ecosystem that was being developed and incubated since like 2010, 2009. So, yeah, about 15, 16 years of research and participation, actively contributing and just being a part of pushing something forward. And, now I just want to like finally release all of this work, this research. Hard drives is up. So I could use some space. I'm not saying I'm about to just like delete everything, but in the process of sharing all of this stuff, I think in this day and age, I mean, from what I'm seeing on YouTube, I'm seeing all these videos talking about regular, boring videos is what's in now. It's like, just stop trying. So I'm with that. It's something I want to stop trying at. But this channel, I've been figuring out the personality of it. for the past couple years. Just what it is that I want to be saying on YouTube. What I've been learning, just over the past 5 to 6 years is that, to really take the next step as an artist, it always involves really telling your story the way it needs to be told. And, I started out this year, with my Substack, talking about how I was going to be doing this, presenting this artist-led research, or this artist-led infrastructure research, where I would just basically be showing my findings of, the artist experience in building infrastructure. And when I started out, I've always been telling the stories of other people. I've always been telling the stories of other people. And I guess just finding a way to align myself in that. But in this case, I just really in the past 20 minutes had the revelation that I'm ready to actually start compiling my final thoughts on this 16-year research period. What is happening, what has been happening, and just what I think my thoughts are on it being sustainable. How could it continue to be sustainable? So I'm gonna do y'all the favor of hearing my research and thesis and stuff in a more formal way. I just don't have my computer in front of me. And are we really doing a formal academic thing with those geese in the background? So that's just a little intro. I'm gonna be doing this every day. Every day I'm gonna be just working through different hard drives that I've just been collecting information on since 2020 as a starting point. This past 5 years, I really want to look at it because, we have the building phases, that really were happening prior to, I would say, 2016. But after 2016, I think, the stakes just started, increasing. Artists started getting into real estate and, just continuing to marry initiative to property as opposed to, to an institution. Artists started, becoming the institutions is what I was noticing in 2016. So now in 2026, where are we at? We had the Citibank 19th anniversary this past Friday. So I got that stuff. That's always a nice time. But I also want to just show, my experience within the residency space, where things are in 2026 is that, artists are in residency in Castleberry Hill, developing in different ways, developing in multifaceted ways, learning curation, how to strengthen their own discipline, how to do community engagement, and, different ways to make money doing it, aside from just selling art. I think the value of what I'm saying is, just for any artist out there that's doing it unconventionally, any artist, or just person that may be taking inventory of just everything at the moment, and it's just what's next? I don't know what anybody need to do. Like I don't have any guaranteed answers on anything, related to like what I'm gonna say and what it's gonna do for you. But I think there's plenty of valuable value in the stories that I will be sharing about building arts ecosystems, because I mean, now, ironically, I'm seeing articles about Baltimore being the next cultural ecosystem, the next like Black Renaissance, and like it's the same narrative every time. Uh, we talk about the Harlem Renaissance, which should be talked about, but now I'm just wondering like how all of this is going to be cataloged in history. Uh, when will we get to the point where they say, oh, this new Black Renaissance is like the Baltimore Renaissance, or it's like the Atlanta Renaissance, or it's like the Congolese Renaissance, or it's like the South African Renaissance, or it's like the Nigerian Renaissance. Like, in case you don't see a theme developing, wherever Black people are having a Renaissance, some other Black people is having a Renaissance as well. It is just what we do. So I have been, just focusing on my chosen geography, what my life has been built around. I'm a native of Baltimore though, so I think that's just personally interesting. Um, I've been here in Atlanta as an adult since like 2004. I mean, when I left Baltimore, I wasn't fully aware of like how I could develop as an artist. I figured since I ain't getting in the school of the arts, that was just it for me. I'm gonna just go be smart. So, I went to college and finished in the summer. By the time I got to Atlanta and like, started just seeing what was developing in Castleberry Hill, it really, fully, just reawakened, like my interest in art. Cause, I was getting to see it in live action, like day to day, this is what people are doing. So, over the course of time, I got to contribute to that, participating. But, from the camera, like, observing. So I imagine that there's somebody else, that's going to be in Baltimore. But I got plans to go back home as well. So, maybe it'll just be me doing the specific thing that I'm doing. But I'll also be introducing you to that as well, like in the course of, I guess, experiencing this research, seeing these films, all these things I'm about to create. I'm also going to be crafting a new style of filmmaking for myself, and or maybe just an evolving style as a documentarian. I just make shit. So yeah, I want to just really let this project breathe. As you can probably see by now, if you've like watched this whole clip. I'm gonna, get to the part now where I start incorporating, I guess other clips more frequently. It's gonna be a mixture, just stuff like this. And the footage that I have, like I got hard drives, terabytes of video and, the things that I made while I was in residence in these various spaces. I was in the Creators Project for 2 years, and I was at the Goat Farm. Then I was at Peter Street Station for a couple, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. That was kind of like an externship, I guess. I was activating different like programming and working, more with grown-ups. Like in the Creators Project, the mandate was to work with children, which is what I was interested in. I had taught at Georgia State, and I was shocked just taken aback at the childlike behavior of adults. And so I was like, all right, children it is. And then, yeah, while at Peter Street, I would spend a lot of time just working with my peer group and younger millennials, Gen Zers. And then, yeah, my final residency experience was going to Lagos for like a month and a half. And, I spent time with everybody. Definitely, was being supported by my elders while I was out there. So it was an interesting experience, just like being supported in art in that way. And yeah, I had a child. Um, we got a stable little household thing going. And now it's 2026. So who knows what the hell is happening. And that's the other reason why, I have no desire to hold on to, this research anymore. I just want to see what it's going to do. It ain't going to do much or nothing. It's just in here on my hard drives. So, yeah, that's what's happening for me on YouTube and on the interweb. Yeah, if you got an attention span, this content is for you. And if you just got a thirst to learn, really want to gain deeper insight on this culture that you may be a part of, or different ways to be a part of culture near you. Like I just mentioned, black people having a renaissance in one place are definitely doing it somewhere else. So at a renaissance near you, if you are like interested in figuring out how to be a part of those communities, support those types of communities, artist-led spaces, are typically what you're going to be experiencing. Yeah, I think that has helped me sum up what all of this is. Just, thinking about the moment at hand. Like, there's a major war going on. We've been in like this pandemic recession, vibe. Very interesting vibe. For the past going on 6 years. So, yeah, this channel is for the artist that's just dealing with that in a real way. Like, I don't have no specific tailored advice for you that's going to help you. I have stories. I have experiences. I have lots and lots of data and research. And I'm going to just share that. And, I'm going to talk a little bit. And, yeah, I'm going to introduce you to an old work of mine, because that's part of the thread as well. Just in terms of like, what has been produced in Atlanta and, things that are, helping move this culture forward. I'm going to, be sharing all of that. Some of my research, that started during the pandemic, was just like what was happening when niggas had the Spanish flu. That led to the Great Depression. That, led to the Harlem Renaissance and some other shit. But the Harlem Renaissance for the sake of art. And, yeah. So what we saw, from 2020 to now in Castleberry Hill, concentrated spaces, artist collectives, different styles of art being created. A global art fair has made its way to Atlanta in the past couple years. Artists got museums and, just all types of shit going on. Artists aren't just doing that. So, yeah, I'm giving some information. I'm sharing what we've been doing in Atlanta. What have I been doing in Atlanta? And maybe from that we will see what's next. So, I'm a little on the mend. I've, got that little post big event, thing whatever, that happens from, I guess, being around people and working really hard and just being engaged, just try not to get too sick. So I'm about to go upstairs, have some fruit, wake my daughter up. Oof. I'm sure that's some interesting ASMR. But yeah, the funny thing is, I was originally recording this video because I was like, I'm gonna just record these hiccups. I had hiccups for like 20 minutes. Right as I was about to try to do this the first time, I got the hiccups and I was like, man, fuck this shit. I guess the hiccups don't want me to be great. But then I was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna just have hiccups the whole time. And as soon as I got this camera angle set up and like drank that little last sip of tea, and the hiccups went away. And I got the video done. So yeah, breakfast time. Ugh. Almost fell over.